Hello everyone, my name is Patrick Promelo from Nest Immersion. Welcome back to the channel. Today I will talk about Nest Play version 2. We have two flavor now, the light version and also the pro version. We have more advanced feature and highly designed for DOM mapping playback. So the first time you run Nest Play will probably ask you if you want to switch to high performance mode. If you detect you have more than one GPU, please say yes. So this way you get the best performance of the application. So I will start with a first overview of the interface. We'll start with the general settings. This is where you enter your license. If you just get it from the demo, you will not have license activate. So if all feature is unlocked, but you have watermark output. When you register your license, if you have one, there's a prompt that will tell you if you have a light version, that some feature now are disabled. Also, there will be a link here to get more information on the Pro and how to upgrade with a rebate if you already have the light version purchase. The light version come free with NestMap license. So if you already have NestMap and you don't have Nest Play light license, write us to an email and we will send you a free version, a free license for the light version if you want to. Well, this is self-explanatory. If you check run at Windows Startup, well, you will start the application when the computer boot. First playlist at the startup, so that means that it will start the first clip of the active playlist after maybe 5 seconds is loading. Then source, well, the library folder is the path where it's list all those file here. So if it's not relevant for you, because its default is your own video folder. Well, let's try another folder. For example, if I go in my document, I have a test folder here with a bunch of video. Well, let's check check them all. So you will list all the content of this folder and also all subfolder. Under it, only for the Pro version, you have also access to a spout video capture and NDI source. So if I check, for example, all of them, well, you will have another section in the library which called source. Of course, there's no spout because I didn't start any spout yet. So now I start a new spout, and now here we go. Of course, for NDI, you can enter there the source IP if you want, if it's on another computer. So it'll be easier to list in the sources. Spout output, this is where you can change the name and the resolution of the output and also the frame rate of the Nest Play. If the preview here will have the aspect ratio related to the output resolution and not the video file. So if you set 1:1 output ratio, you will have 1:1 video preview here. For also for the Pro version, you have you can have HDR10 output. That means normally Spout have 8-bit per color and also 8-bit for the alpha. By checking this, if you don't need the alpha, this what it does is it will take 6-bit on the alpha channel and will add 2-bit to all RGB color for 8 of them have 10-bit each. You still have alpha, but only with 2 bits, so it can be it could be not relevant for you if you want absolutely use the alpha output, but just for movie playback or for DOM presentation directly, I think it's a good thing to have 10 bits to minimize all to get better quality of the image. The audio section is where you set, for example, the output audio device. Pro and Lite version have the list the Windows Media device and also SEO device. All Windows device have mostly have 2 channel, storage channel, but all SEO can have more channel. And you have the sound equalizer only for the Pro version to set the site audio. For example, you can fine tune the audio for all channel, or you can just select one channel and change it one at a time. Or you can after fine tune with 15 band instead of 5 band. That's it for the setting. If I go back to sources, now I have a bunch of file listed. If you right click on the file, it will change the order. It could be alphabetical order or alphabetical order with group by of subfolder. Also, for example, if you want to put it in the playlist, you just drag and drop. So click and drag it. If you use a touchscreen, probably you need to drag horizontally first. If you drag vertically, it will just move the scroll bar instead. Here the file info section is if you click on the name of the file and not on the image, it gives you more information on the file. So of course the name, the duration, the resolution, the frame rate, etc., and color format if they have embed audio. And you can adjust some parameters, like you can change individual audio. For example, if you have a movie that the soundtrack is higher than the other, you can adjust individual audio to have equal playlist together. If you don't have any audio, or if you don't want to use the stereo and add more channel, you can check use separate audio track, and it will replace the audio with those file. Just click on the button to select a file, and if the length of the audio track is not the same as the movie, this small warning here about it. If it detects it's a stereo wave, it will fill the first two entry. If they have 6 channel in the wave file, it will fill the first 6 channel here. Here it's only 2 channels showing because I use a stereo device. But if you use, for example, ACO sound card output, you have more track output available. The same thing here. For the Pro version, you have an equalizer. So it's an equalizer for this movie and per channel. So you can it's worked the same way as the one output, but it's fine tuned per each movie and per channel. Only the first channel is show on the slider. So if you select all of them, well, this is one. It's not relevant. If I can change to like this one, I have 6 channel. So now we have a 6 channel. So you can adjust the quality. Even if you have 2 channel output, stereo output, you can adjust each input channel of the movie before it mixed to the output channel, output stereo. So for example, if I only change for the voice, for example, I want the voice more clear, then I show all of them. I see, oh yeah, well, it will last my setting is, well, it's not, because it's only showing the first channel on the slider. So if I remove the channel 1 and 2, it go back to what I set for the channel 3. But if I select all of them and I move one slider, well, now all of them have the same value, even the 3 I set before. So if you want to reset one or many channel, you can click here. Also, if you set, for example, the audio, but you want to fine tune more than 5 bands, you can switch to 15 bands. And then you can fine tune more what you want. Or you can go back to 5 band and the slider would just rearrange to fit the 15 bands. What else? There's also fade in, fade out. This is fade to black. So from black and to black. So it's not really relevant for a movie because most movies start gradually and end gradually too. But for other sources like Spout or NDI, and you don't want then start very rush when you click on it, you can click fade in on it. For example, if I start, I click on it, path is start. But if you want something more smooth, if I click on it, it will start smoother. It's a 3-second fade. Next, the end action. This is what the movie will do at the end of the movie. So by default, it's play next. So for example, this movie have 1 hour for 46 minutes. So if I play it, well, at the end, what it will do, it will play the next clip, or it will stop, or you can make a loop, or you can play previews, or you can play the first clip of the playlist. Here, for example, this is where you click to scroll in the movie. For example, it's a scroll to the end. Then here you have the movie remain, but you can change it by left click. I have a movie remain, playlist remain, movie ellipse, and playlist ellipse. So yeah, 20 seconds left. You can also hide pane by just clicking on the small arrow here. So now the movie stop, and now it start the Spout demo here. Of course, any Spout, if it's switched automatically, the file info is not follow. It follow the title selected. So it still have this movie selected now. If I want to change the setting of this Spout output, I need to select the title. spout output and also image or NDI or any source that don't have any time embedded. You have a new slider. It's called duration. By default, it's 0. So that means when it's activate, it will run forever. But you can change to anything, anytime you want, and now you have determine a fixed time that will last. It can go up to 1 hour with the slider, but if you want more, you can right click on the time and just adjust it with the keyboard or with the mouse wheel. You can move it frame by frame with for fine tune your time. Audio, of course, there's no audio with Spout, but you can add a separate audio track. And if the duration is 0 and you add audio track of 3 minutes, for example, it will set the duration automatically to 3 minutes to fit with the audio audio file. What else interesting is, for example, if you play a movie that's not perfectly, it's not 24, it's 23.98, you could have some shift between the video and the audio because the playback of the Nesplay is right on even FPS. So it's a 60, it will be 30 or any FPS you want, but it will be even FPS. So once a while, you will see this indicator here pass from the green to red. This means that the sync between the audio and the video is not good. Right now in the yellow-ish, orange-ish section, it's about 2 frame latency between audio and video. And then when it's increased, well, at the end, I think it's when it's reached 2.5 frame, it will skip or duplicate a frame to go back into the green zone. So it's barely perceptive. You can barely see it, but it's guaranteed the audio is synced with the video. Also here you have the time of the day. If you left click, you can switch to the format you want. And also the FPS target. This is not just, this is really measure FPS. So if your computer is hard to get the frame rate correctly, you will see it, the FPS will drop. For example, this is a small video, but if I play back, this is a 8K video panoramic. It's quite big, and run at 60 FPS, but it's still running good. I don't know if I try to, well, okay, yeah, it changed. Okay, so you see, it's dynamic. It's not big. So this is a panoramic video. It's interesting. I can show you. So we see the all 360 degrees from left to right. But you can convert it with transformation here. This is only available with the Pro version, but you can switch it in real time to fisheyes, from panoramic to fisheyes. And you can adjust the parameter, like to change the camera orientation. Any slider, if you want to go back to the default value, you can right click on it. You can also change the field of view. There also a mode that if you detect that's a panoramic video and you use the panel to fisheye conversion, you will see a small logo here, 360. That you, if you click on it, and it's activate, and you can click on the image to change the orientation. Hard to see in this one, but I have one here. This one. So if I play this one, so you can scroll and see all around car. So you see here the slider, horizontal and the vertical, that's changing while you're moving. Also, there's another transformation that's called a cinema mode. For example, if I choose cinema, so if you have a 16:9 video and you want to show it in a dome, you can simulate projection on a kind of a pane on the dome. So you can of course change the parameter, the orientation, vertical, version, size, height, tilt. The horizontal bending is, for example, if you have a frontal dome, like a portal dome. Well, if you can change it to, you put it full size, and now you can change the bending to fit the dome shape. So this is interesting too, because you can use it for any input, also for video card input, capture card. So for example, you can connect a video game on the computer through the capture card, a video console, and then project on the screen with the correct shape format for the video. If you want to lock the UI to avoid anyone that mess your setting, for example, for a public installation or for when your setup is done and you just want to play back, you can right click on the logo here. This will hide all panels, and also will you cannot change or move the order in the playlist or even delete or whatever. So you cannot mess with the setup you did. If you want to bring back the UI, right click again and you will get the small arrow here, and you can pull up all those pen just like before. What else? Well, all the rest is self-explanatory. Image tune is, of course, brightness, contrast, saturation, gamma, so we can fine-tune each movie individually. Movie trim is to, for example, if you don't like the beginning, how it starts. For example, you want to skip the beginning, or you want to cut the credit at the end. For example, if you want to make a loop, you can do this. If you find a frame interesting that's more relevant for the movie, like this one, well, you can change the thumbnail of this width. Just click on the set as thumb, and now you have changed the image for this clip. You can also change the name of each clip. So you can right click and write something more relevant for you. Or you can also duplicate the same clip. Well, you can move it, of course, in the playlist. And you can also duplicate by holding Control before dropping it. And also it copy all the settings. Please note that the setting list for the film is the one with the names selected, not the one is playing right now. So you can play a movie and change the setting for another movie to prepare for the next one. For example, but if you click manually click to start a movie, it will select it also, so you can work on it directly. But if, for example, it's up, is set to play next, and let's go to the end of the video, and it will switch to the next video automatically. But the setting is still on this video because the name is selected. Okay. Also, you can have more than one video with different name. So this way you can have two different sections of the same movie, one for a loop, for example, and the other can be the real movie. So the way to go to, and mostly, is to create a loop at the beginning. So this one, you select this one, you select a loop, and you can just select a part of the movie to, let's see here. So if we play it, it will start at the frame I ask it to, and it will run until the end of the loop and go back. You can just go back and come back. If the cut is too harsh, you can also activate fade in, fade out. Fade in, fade out is 3-second fade to black or from black. And the fade is also available only with the pro version, because it's mostly for live input like Spout or NDI, since they have no beginning or ending. So when you want to start it, if you click fade in, it will start with a small fade instead of have it brutal in the dome bang. It's easier. The fade also fade the volume on it. Also for the playlist, if you want another playlist, you just click on the plus tab. Now you have a second playlist. You can also change the name of the playlist, whatever you want. And if you want to move one clip to another playlist, drag it and drop it just over the tab to select the right playlist, and just drop it somewhere in the playlist. If you want to export a playlist, you can simply export the tab to somewhere in the, it could be the desktop, or it could be File Explorer. It will create a XML file that you can recall later. Just drop it into a playlist, and will create. You will recreate the playlist you saved. finally, if you want to, for example, source video, a capture card, you have all those features that explained later before, but you have also the capture option. So this is for the sound. So instead of using you can still have separate audio track, but mostly if you want to capture a video like a video cam, webcam, or a movie or external presentation, probably you want to have the sound with it. So you have to select which audio input you want to sync with this with this capture. For example, my webcam, it will be this one. So when I will click on it, it will start the webcam. It will not, because I'm using it right now with OBS. But normally it works. What else? I forgot. I forgot something. I don't think so. Here is the basic button. So, but it will, for example, if I play a loop, well, of course I can hit pause, but if I hit next, it will stop it. It will not play the next movie because the end action was loop. If the end action was play next, if I hit next, now it will play the next movie. So it's a subtle difference on this. Another feature, for example, the difference between Nesplay and Lite and Pro. The Pro have can use CUDA to decode 4x444 video. For example, this one is it's a HVEC 444 12-bit per second. This one is a 10-bit per second. So it will able to read it correctly using the hardware acceleration. So using those use CUDA decoding, and this is only available with NVIDIA card, of course. So before purchasing the Pro version, only for this feature, please be sure that you have the proper video card for it. Please avoid any 422 codec video format because it's almost no video card is able to decode with hardware acceleration. Mostly for editing. So if you want to probably your camera film in this format and you want to import it in Premiere or After Effects to use it, but at the end you have to export it either in a 420 or 444 format. So if you want to play a 422 video, I have one here, but it will not run correctly. It will skip frame, and also the video will not be synced with the audio. That's it. So if you have question, if you have comments, please let us know. Also, what else? Well, some people ask why create a new media player, because there's a bunch of media players that run well, like VLC, Windows Media Player, or even Resolume or Touch Designer. But we're looking for a media player that make three things basically: to be optimized for MP4 and also HAP codec, and also with multi-channel audio output for 5.1 video, and of course a spout output. So most video players have two or one of those features, but not all three together. So we decide to create our own media player that fill those needs. By the way, the Nesplay Lite version is free with a Nest Map license. So if you want to use it for DOM mapping. Like, think about the using in combo with the Nest map. So purchase a Nest map license and you get the free light license. And if you want to upgrade to the Pro, Nest Play Pro, you will only pay the difference between. So you get a rebate on this instead of just purchasing directly online. So start with a Nest map license. And if you already have a Nest map license in the past and you didn't have received a Nest Play license for it, write us an email about with your Nest map license number and your email or invoice number, and we will send you Nest Play license, a light version. So that's it. So yeah, well, thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, please let us know. Like the video and get involved in the channel if you want. And well, I can't wait to hear about what you think about this software. So let us know if there's some missing feature that it's a must for you. So thank you very much.